How's it going, everybody? This is Thursday night, and we're here for another round of Spitball. And apologies to everybody that was watching the Tuesday night video where I practically pissed all over Star Wars and Disney and all that stuff.
All the Disney franchises.
Yes, but we're back on. I'm back on track for this video. We have not got wet spitballs as I.
You've literally got a stormtrooper behind you, dude. I just noticed it.
I love the original films. Oh shit. Anyway, we have not got wet spitballs, as I always say on Zoom. It's not practical, so I'm going to throw first.
Go for it.
Boom. What is that? Hang on, I've got shimmer on the spine, so I've got to lean around it. It's Puddle Cruiser. Do you know Puddle Cruiser? It's the first of
the Broken Lizard.
It's the first one they did
when they were in college. It's a college movie.
Yeah, it's a dorm frat house kind of movie. I don't like it. You know, I really like Broken Lizard a lot, and I bought that one knowing they'd done one prior to everything else. I was so excited, and when it arrived and I watched it, there was no comedy in it at all.
Right. See, for me, it was I got given it as a present, as a Christmas present, because I loved Club Dread and Super Troopers so much, and so my bosses at the video store at the time they imported a copy and gave it to me for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to get it, but it was one of those cases of the minute I had it, like I was desperate to see it. The minute I had it, I lost all impetus to watch it. I was like, oh, okay, I can watch this. I can watch this anytime now, and now it's hidden in the DVD archives, God knows where. So you know. I don't feel like I've lost anything. I feel like I'd rather watch Super Troopers again than.
It's not one of those examples of somebody hitting the scene and hitting the ground running and sort of coming out strong, and they make an impression. They obviously had to work their way to fame
and, to get to Super Troopers. Well, Super Troopers was their second film, and it is full of mustache rides and stuff like that. It was great.
But I think in between Puddle Cruiser and Super Troopers, they'd done a lot of stage shows. You know, because they were like like a college act, if you will.
Yeah, right.
But I love Broken Lizard. I think the two most underrated ones are the Slam and Salmon. Do you remember Michael?
Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan.
Clark Duncan. He keeps calling the guy meat drapes.
Yeah.
It's Madropides. That's what I said. Meat drapes. and Beer Fest. I think Beer Fest was really fun too.
Beer Fest is great. Was it 50 cents? Was it 20 cents? I bend over and touch my toes. 50 cents. I bend over and touch your toes. It's $1 for a BJ, $2 for a ZJ. What's a ZJ? If you don't know, you can't afford it.
I just love that image of the guy in the vat of beer, and he starts doing. Drinks his way out of it.
His way out, yeah.
And like you said, Club Dread is very, very underrated.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Club Dread, but still, I think for me, Super Troopers is there.
Yeah,
is my favorite of the franchise. It's just
Did you like number 2?
I still haven't seen it.
I think you would. I think it's almost an equal. Like it's on par.
I was very upset that when the media screening for that went on, I did not get an invite. And I was heartbroken, and
from memory, that was just an admit 1 pass for the media people. It wasn't a plus 1 or an admit 2. And Jarrett and I just both happened to have a pass, and we sat together and watched that one. And I think we both looked at each other and just went, "Yeah, that's a winner." You know, there was a lot of apprehension, but it was good. Anyway,
I should do I should talk to Zach at the Astor about doing a Broken Lizard marathon. Like he does all the Harry Potter ones and stuff. Like, why not play Puddle Cruiser, Super Troopers, what is it? Club Dread, Slam and Salmon, Beer Fest, Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh no!
Super Troopers 2.
They're not really Broken Lizard. You can piss those ones off.
No, but they're all in it, and the Super Troopers make a cameo. It's directed by Chandraneska.
What about Freeloaders? That's another one.
I haven't even heard of Freeloaders.
Freeloaders has them all in it. He directs it. It's also got Dave Foley and Josh Lawson, the Aussie.
Jeez, any questions for Ben, Josh Lawson?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that one.
And there's
Of
one
course,
more.
until I get it, until I own it, and then who cares?
Then it falls in the archives.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me just try and brainstorm. There's another one. Freeloaders came around, and then there's another rom-com they directed about it's a bit like She's Having a Baby, about a guy that's panicking because his girlfriend's pregnant. Can't remember.
That original concept.
I'll put it on the screen, but it was originally a Broken Lizard bannered film with the banner,
Right.
and they removed it because it just wasn't up to
Funny?
mustard. I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, you go ahead. That's a lot of Broken Lizard talk.
I'll see if did Broken Lizard actually. There's Jay Chandraneska.
You can actually pronounce his name?
Well, no, that could be completely wrong. It looks like it. Like I did that thing where I read on it. I read the first bit and the last bit, and they're like, yeah, that.
Yeah, you missed about 10 syllables.
Yeah, but he's directing Super Troopers 3: Winter Soldiers. It doesn't have a date on it though, but it's up on the old IMDb. He's done a lot of TV. He's doing a lot of TV.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the last one that's not The Baby Makers?
That's it.
With Olivia Munn.
Yes.
Right. Yes. I do own a copy of that. I didn't realize that he had directed it. And there's Kevin Heffernan is the third build lead. I think doesn't Olivia Munn get naked in that one? Is that the one
for everybody that's what
is that the one where she gets the boobies there? Olivia Munn.
I don't know, but I'm very aroused right now.
Just
what the fuck?
Just looking at Olivia Munn's boobs. They're very nice. They're very nice. The boobs are very, very nice. Okay, sorry, I'm okay. I'm very tired. I'm very tired, Glenn.
I thought you had a stroke.
It's been maybe I did.
But I was going to say, for people that were wondering where the Baby Makers poster was from before, when I said I'd flash it on the screen, I didn't do that because you ended up identifying the film.
I identified
it. Man, this is all over the place. Why don't you just throw a spitball?
All right, I'm going to do it. Pow! Oh, this is actually a film that you know a lot more about than I do, and the first time and the only time I've seen it was at your house. But it is the VHS. The VHS title is called Lunar Madness, with phenomenal artwork by Jim Silk. And when it came out, when it was released in the US, it went by another name, which I believe was Vicious Lips. Is that right, Glenn? Vicious Lips. Yes, directed by your good friend Albert Pune.
Albert Pune,
or Pyan, as I used to call him.
Yeah, I used to call him. What did I use before I knew him? Pian, I think.
Pian, like
Pian,
Pian. Like it.
Mate, you're on fine form. You're on fine form tonight.
I'm very tired. I might just have a nap while you talk about it.
Vicious Lips is the movie that introduced us to the three-titted woman, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And we've spoken about this before, but no doubt people haven't heard the conversation. But Albert was originally attached to Total Recall, and that film has the three-titted woman and claims fame to it. But I reckon that's the one thing that sort of the one remnant of Albert's touch.
Oh, right, was the three-titted woman.
Yeah, because it went from
that pesky Verhoeven.
Total Recall went from Albert Pune to David Cronenberg to Paul Verhoeven.
Right. What was the name of the band? I did have. I believe I actually made a mixtape on Mixcloud where it was all songs from bands in movies. It was called, funnily enough, Movie Bandstand. And It is
Well, anyway,
there.
the movie,
It
for
was,
people that don't know, Vicious Lips is about an intergalactic female rock band that are traveling across the universe to like some kind of.
Oh, the band is actually called the Vicious Lips. That's what the band was called.
That's right.
And
And
the song that I had in the thing was "Save Me," which is a belter of a song.
but they're on their way to an intergalactic talent contest, but they crash land on some planet, and it is batshit crazy. But this, people that know me know my absolute love and passion for Albert Pune films, and this was that era when he was making really good production value films, like like they were cheap films, but the productions were fantastic.
They look good. It was like Alien from
L.A.
and stuff like that. And it was because isn't they've got an agent that's very similar to the Rick Moranis character in Streets of Fire.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like it was a really.
Who was that? Yeah. I was gonna say Norbert, but he didn't start appearing in Albert's films until a bit later, I think. But yeah, but like that movie, he did Down Twisted, and what were the really big ones that he did? Because obviously Sword and the Sorcerer is where it all started, but then he did got the poster on my wall, Radioactive Dreams.
Radioactive Dreams. I have the tape over there.
That is a belter. Like I'm talking, like if you love your Mad Max kind of science fiction, that's a beauty. It's got George Kennedy in it. It's got what's that guy?
Kennedy.
What's the guy? David Dudikoff is it Andrew or
Michael,
David Dudikoff?
Michael Dudikoff.
It's not Andrew or David. It's Michael.
The Dudikoff. The Dudikoff from Bachelor Party and American Ninja.
And the guy that directed the new Kickboxer movie and
funnily enough, Michael Dudikoff, he blames Cannon for destroying his career because they had him on hold to play Spider-Man because we were talking about the Marvel franchise earlier, but he was supposed to play Spider-Man in the Cannon Spider-Man movies, but it didn't happen.
Albert was assigned to direct Spider-Man when it fell through, and it's covered briefly in Mark Hartley's Electric Boogaloo film. That when Spider-Man and Master of the Universe 2 both fell through, that's what Albert promised them, that he could take both productions, budgets and costumes and sets and make Cyborg from it. So
right. Oh, so Cyborg is also a little bit of Spider-Man.
Yeah. So Cyborg is practically what they claim saved Cannon films from ruin, based on the fact that Albert just said, "I reckon I can save both of these films."
Right.
Yeah, so that's my favorite sort of aspect of the Cannon story. And if you on video, let me just do this. See Chucky, you can see Chucky. That whole pile is Albert Pune films.
Wow.
That's over there is Radioactive Dreams. That little poster. There's about
poster?
5 versions of that, and they're all signed by Albert. But yeah, that's my little Albert Pune pile. Every film he's ever made. Your
puny pile.
It's my puny pile. That's my trip into the Puniverse.
Your puny pile.
Anyway, it always comes back to Jim Wynorski and Albert Pune, mate.
Yeah. We are who we are. And if you don't like it, don't listen to the show.
Damn straight. I think one spitball's enough because I'm starting to get very tired.
Yeah, I need I have not recovered from Monster Fest yet.
And you know how like yawns translate and they're contagious. Yeah. I'm watching your eyes droop and I'm like, ugh.
It's slowly. I think I actually slowly. I think when I had that stroke, I was actually asleep.
Okay, well, I reckon before we wrap this up, for people watching, if you're not a regular listener to our actual podcast that drops on Mondays, make sure you do watch this week's or next Monday's episode, because it's our end of year Christmas wrap. It's a video. It's got everyone that's involved in the podcast, all 9 of us together on the show, and it's an absolute belter. And there's a few hidden surprises in it too. So that's the end of year wrap up. And then across the summertime, we're going to be dropping just some tasty treats along the way, a bit of a summer series, if you will. So
it'll be hosted by Peter Luck, which is lovely. There's my. You remember that? It was always every time there was a current affair, whatever it is, a summer series, hosted by Peter Luck, who would later go on to release a fascinating photo book on Rust.